this will happen exactly as it's meant to happen. I also did so much work on myself to prep. Like, I would say to myself, like, I'm not the type of person that should be on this show. I'm gonna go in there, they're gonna see a little blonde girl hawking swimsuits, and I'm gonna be shark bait. Like, that is what I told myself. The odds of this going well are not great, you know? So I was like, I really, 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 really had to rewrite that narrative in my head.
Welcome to the Prosperity Playground, the podcast where business meets energetics, strategy meets soul, and prosperity becomes inevitable. I'm your host, Anna Lozano, mom, founder, investor, mentor, and energetics in business expert. This is your weekly activation to rewire how you think and feel about wealth, success, and personal power, because it's not about working harder, it's about regulating deeper, aligning stronger, and receiving wider. You don't hustle for your future, you calibrate to your higher self. Join me weekly for high-level conversations with the world's most inspiring entrepreneurs, creators, and thought leaders. True prosperity isn't just about money. It's about alignment, freedom, expansion, and embodying your worth. Welcome to the playground. Let's build your most prosperous life. Hey loves, welcome back to the Prosperity Playground podcast. Today's episode is awesome. I had so much fun recording with Hayley Segar, who is the founder of onewith Swim, the brand behind the patented swimsuits that fit like underwear. Hayley launched onewith after a light bulb moment in 2019 when she thought, I just want a swimsuit that fits like my favorite no-show underwear. That one sentence sparked a category creating idea that changed everything. Since launching in 2021, Hayley has grown onewith from a self-funded startup into a viral, size-inclusive swimwear brand celebrated for its dig-free, elastic-free, edgeless design. In 2025, she pitched the brand on Shark Tank and secured a deal, further cementing onewith as a standout solution in an oversaturated industry. In this episode, we dive into how a frustrating moment in a fitting room became a patented category disruptor product, how Hayley is building a breakout brand without rushing, burning out, or chasing virality, and detachment, nervous system capacity, and manifesting Shark Tank the aligned way. Gosh, it's such an amazing conversation. And she secured a deal with two of my favorite sharks. I can't wait for you guys to listen to this one. I hope you enjoy the show. And please let me know on Instagram what resonated the most. See you on the inside. All right, Hayley, welcome to the Prosperity Playground podcast. I'm so excited you're here.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm excited to be here.
Yes, I listened to your interview with Lori Harder, who was actually guest episode number 1 of this podcast. And I was like, oh my gosh, love the story. Love how woo you are alongside being a badass founder. I'm like, we need to do a behind the brand episode of onewith Swim. So here we are. So I'd love to dive in and start at the very beginning. I know that you had an idea drop in and take us back to that journey when this was just the seed of an idea that then transformed into something what it is today.
Yeah, for sure. So an idea dropping in is the perfect way to describe how it went. It was so natural and organic the way the onewith idea came to me. And basically the way it happened was I was trying on a bunch of different swimsuits for a trip to Miami. I literally said out loud, I just want a swimsuit that fits like my favorite no-show underwear does, out of frustration. And it was that moment that it hit me like a freight train. I was like, this is it. This is my idea. Had to make sure no one did it before, obviously. But I knew in that moment that it was the idea I had been waiting for and a real problem that I was really excited to solve.
Oh, and I love that. And I'm like, everything had to come in its own timing because the no-show underwear came first, right? Like those
Yes.
were created. And so this was something that you're using every single day. And you're like, well, why doesn't the swimwear version of it exist? So I absolutely love it. I feel your pain. I have 2 girls and, bodies change post children and even one pieces. I wear one pieces. I'm like, they don't fit the same as the no-show underwear. I'm Canadian, so I love my Knix underwear. I love my hoo-haws. I'm like, they have, nailed it. And then you decided to take on the swimwear category. So what happened next? So idea drops in. This is 2019. Like Do you have any experience in this industry? What steps do you start taking to turn this into an actual brand?
So I always say I knew enough to know that I didn't know. So I've always worked fashion adjacent and in social media, as in I sold wedding gowns for a really long time. That was like my first real job. And then I was also a YouTuber, like very, very nascent days of YouTube. I'm talking like 2008, and did that for a very long time. So I knew enough about marketing. I knew enough about fashion to know that I was going to either need to go back to school to learn how to bring this to life, pattern making, tech design, stuff like that, or hire help. And that kind of journey took place over the course of about a year where I was really weighing my options. It was never indecision. It was really, again, like weighing. And kind of going down all of these different rabbit holes of the way that I could bring this to life, but I never slept on the idea. It was always like percolating, you know?
Yes.
So ultimately, long story short, I ended up applying for this really awesome, competitive, great entrepreneurial program that my alma mater offers, UConn. And that came with $15,000 of non-dilutive funding. So that was money for me to hire a technical designer instead of me going back to school, which it was for the best that I hired somebody anyways. But yeah, so that is how it kind of like really came to be.
Okay, so you decide on that route. I love this. Like, I truly feel when an idea is meant to be yours, when it's, the creation, the product, the service is meant to come through you, it's meant to come through you. And so you didn't necessarily rush the process. You were exploring the different pathways. And I love this because I'm actually in this very stage right now. Like, I have this vision for a female founded pickleball brand. And I'm like, okay, I'm excited about this product. I'm excited about these experiences, but I know nothing about these industries and these products that I'm looking to create. And yet I have enough personal growth work behind me to be like, this is exciting. It's part of the journey. So you didn't rush the process. You were open to the different pathways, the different ways that you could bring this to life. So talk to us about working with a technical designer. So that's the route you ended up going. Did you have an idea of what it is you wanted in terms of product, or were you open to discovering different options and styles and designs, etc.?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, we need to talk about pickleball later. Like, I need to get tips from you. I've never played, but I like really want to make it a thing for myself. So we'll put a pin in that. But no, I came to the technical designer with like, I think I wrote one with concepts, and it's so funny. I still have it somewhere in my email, but it's like all of these sketches of the ways in which I thought this could come to life. Like, and I named each concept. So there was like a utility concept. There was a, whatever I called it, like no show, like something like that. Like I was always into names. So I gave everything names. And yeah, so I had an idea. Like I did not go in blind. Again, I knew enough to know I didn't know. Now, taking what I wanted and putting that into a tech pack to then turn into a factory, that I did not know. So that is really more where the technical designer came in.
Okay. And so from those concepts, how close or different is the product that you actually launched?
So similar. Like,
oh, I love that.
So like, again, if there's 4, there was one that was basically our exact concept. And I love, it's such a good thing. And I'm sure right now, if you're in the infancy of a new idea or something, it's so gratifying and good for the self-esteem to be you in 5 years, right? When you've brought this idea to life, and then you look back on the stuff that you were conceptualizing before you knew better, and you're like, oh, I was actually onto something the whole time, yet here I was second guessing myself. You know what I mean? But it's like, I'm looking back and it's like, no, I came up with this one with concept before I knew how. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's so 100%. Cool.
It's so cool. Like, this is like, and I have goosebumps because I think that's the dream, like, of entrepreneurship. Like, if we have this calling to be a founder, to be an entrepreneur, to birth ideas into life, like, this is it. Like, this is the gift. Like, I always pinch myself. I'm like, I've been an entrepreneur for 16 years. I'm like, we get to fucking do this. Like, what a gift. And I know there's ups and downs downs and it's a roller coaster and it's hard and it's easy and it's all the things, all the emotions. Like, we get to do this. Like, you had this idea that now exists that probably, you know, I don't know how many people have it in their wardrobe.
Yeah, it is so cool. And pinpointing your phrasing, we get to do this. I always have to remind myself of that when I'm like, find myself complaining about something. My complaints never last long. I always say to people, I'm like, give me a minute to complain, and then I'll snap back. But it's like, you gotta, I always say no. I say, let me have it. I said, let me have it. You gotta let me have it, you know? But it always comes back to, I get to do this.
Yes.
I get to do it.
And let's put a pin on let me have it, because this is a human experience. And so like, yes, we get to do it, and it comes with all the experiences, all the emotions, all of it, like the shit stick and the celebration one. And so like, let me have it. Move that energy out of your body and then get back into alignment and move from there.
Yep, exactly. And moving it out of your body, again, highlighting that is so important. I'm like, you gotta let it alchemize. If you let it sit there and you don't let someone have it, you don't let yourself have it, it's not gonna be good. You have to move it out. If that means crying, if that means maybe being like a little more regulated and going on your vibration plate, like whatever it is, going for a walk, get it out. Like, you have to. That's been so important for me.
So good. Okay. So you hire a technical designer. Actually, this is a question that I had. I was texting you that I joined the Founders Club. So I'm looking at a unique product in the hydration space. And actually, I had this question. I'm like, okay, the person that I work with, who's going to be a scientist, specifically in supplements, you know, do I do more of like a rev share plan? Do I outright hire this person simply to to work through the project? Is that something that you did? So you hired this technical designer?
Contractor, but yes.
Contractor.
Yeah, no equity, I retained 100% equity until I got to Shark Tank.
Yes. Okay. Because there's so many routes you can take, right? Okay. So you contract this technical designer. What happens next? How long does it take to actually then launch the brand to market?
2.5 years. Well, no, I'm lying. It was 2.5 years from idea hatching to launch. It was about 1.5 years from contracting the technical designer to launching the brand.
In terms of mindset, did you have any moments, when we speak energetically, of like, I'll call it lack, but it's not what I mean. Like this hurry energy, like what if someone else comes into the space? Like, did you have any of those doubts, fears, worries coming in?
Yeah. Like, there was a time where I was afraid to open my phone because I was just like so afraid someone was going to launch this before I did. And like the closest that got was Kim Kardashian launching Skims.
Yes.
And I was really nervous. That was summer 2019, because I remember where I was. And that she announced it, and it was announced as kimono. And anyone remembers that. Yeah. And I just remember being like, this is it. It's so over. But like, not really. But I was like, if there was someone who was going to do it, it's her. And that was kind of like an oh crap moment, but obviously that didn't.
Yes. Okay. So there was, and this is normal. And again, it's like permission granted, these fears come through, but you continued with it. Okay. So then talk to us about launch. So launch day, what else happened? What had to come together for you to actually, okay, sale number 1, I'm ready.
Yeah. So like most people on launch day, sales were friends and family, it was
war market. Yep.
Yeah. It's just kind of the way it goes. But I don't want to say lucky, because lucky is not the word. It was effort and work, but I would say we were fortunate in that upon launch, I started making like 6 TikToks a day because I had no money. I was completely broke. I couldn't like spend money on Facebook ads. That was still like 1.5 years out, literally. So I just started making 1 million TikToks a day and Instagram and all that good stuff. And 3 months in, we got our first viral video. So that was really like what started the upward trajectory. So that was kind of like, if I had to do like a timeline of big moments, pivotal moments, it would be launch November 2021, first viral video, Feb 2022.
Okay, so talk to us about that. You have experience with social media. You knew you wanted to do TikTok, Instagram, both, or are you more focused on TikTok?
I was begrudgingly, against my will, more focused on TikTok. Actually against my will. Like, I was actually forced to join. I did not want to let that be known. I've said that a million times. I did not want my baby brand on TikTok. It's my baby. Like,
Yes.
I didn't want it there. And my friend Julia, I always give her credit, was like, you need to do that. Like, it has to be there. And thank God I listened to her. And I'm so grateful, obviously, for what TikTok has done for my business. But I always have, I'm an Instagram girl. I don't even have TikTok on my phone anymore. Like, someone else handles it. But TikTok was where it was at for the first while. Yeah.
And you were doing everything yourself at the beginning. What was the strategy? You're like, okay, this is the direction I'm going to take my baby on these social platforms. So what was the thought process behind it and how did you launch those?
So I just kind of started looking at trends, obviously. So if we're going back to 2021 and what Instagram was like, it was so much more serious and curated. And I actually was having this conversation with the team this past week. We are swinging back to Instagram being like that, like where it's more curated again, more aesthetic again. Yeah. Whereas for a while it was like, post everything that's ugly, it doesn't need to be polished. Yes. It doesn't need to have cute or cute captions on screen or whatever. Now it's like, no, it does. But okay. No, so sorry,
I just want to add here, and I'm happy you're saying this because I was speaking to my husband again, like we're pre-launch phase of this pickle brand, and I'm like, listen, like I just want a Vogue-esque looking Instagram. Like it's what I love. I don't like messy. I don't like chaotic. I know we had our 3-year span of like, putting it all out there. Yeah. But I like that you say that it's actually going back there because I didn't know that. It's just what I enjoy. Right.
Totally.
And if it's my baby and brand, I actually love it curated. Maybe my personal isn't as curated, but when I do social for this brand, that's what I like.
100%. And I think what curated means has shifted. So if we're moving back to that, it looks different than it did in 2021 or 2 or whatever. But yeah, my Instagram was always more polished. TikTok, I was experimental, throw spaghetti at the wall, try trending audios, try just talking about random stuff about the product. I still to this day, I feed all the Instagram stuff, trial reels, everything to TikTok because we just use it as a testing ground.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the curatedness and aesthetic aspect of Instagram in 2026 is going to be different than it was in the past. But I think the whole be unpolished, be whatever is true for vulnerability and stuff like that. But I think in terms of actual content, people are really taking their time again.
Yes, I agree. So what do you think that's going to look like specific to Instagram 26?
So this is what I've been deep diving on, Anna. You are catching me at the right time. It's to the point where I'm like, oh, what doesn't it look like? I have to actually go back in my brain and compartmentalize all my thoughts. But people are so into doing these content series and editorializing their life in such a way. And having it look really pretty, really taking their time editing. I'm following all the editing girlies now and they're so fun and I love watching their content. It's all I'm watching. People are just taking their time and they're getting really creative and they're getting really artsy. And I think that is so freaking cool. And again, I had a team meeting this week about social. And social for so long has been really just me spearheading stuff. And now I'm no, I think we really need to all work together to sort of pinpoint these trends, pinpoint where we fit in with these things and this new look and stuff like that on Instagram. And it's just so exciting. It's exciting.
It is. And I think it makes sense because there's content overload. And one thing that we have access to is information. Yeah. And so I think this is why we're going back to this, just intuitively speaking. I haven't done much research. It was just me saying I want to go back to the Vogue-esque look. It's just what I want for my brand. And it makes sense because there's so much of everything. And so whoever resonates with this look and feel, plus the brand and the vision and all that energy behind it will resonate with me. But if you want messy, then I may not be your brand, and that's okay. Right?
Absolutely.
Continuing with the niche. So if we switch back timelines and to TikTok. So 2022, what was the viral video on TikTok? What was it about? Because you were testing and you're still testing.
Yeah. It's so funny. It was, and I'm actually trying to find it again because I want to repost it because it's been 4 years now. Holy.
Wow.
It's been 4 years. So it was a video of all things, me talking about the inner grip strip that's inside our swim. So because we don't use tight seams or elastic that dig or squeeze, we have this soft, flexible inner grip strip that is around the perimeter of the suit. So the waistband, the legs for the tops, obviously like the armholes and things like that. And it was just me talking about it, like flat lay with the suit on my kitchen counter, just pointing at it. I am not in the frame.
You're not there.
Nope. And all our top performing content is usually not with a person like in it. It's just the suit. So that's pretty crazy.
And that went viral.
Yes. So weird.
It's like, I don't have an explanation. Like maybe it's your voice and the look of the product. Like, I don't know how to dissect this. Like we need like an expert in here. And so when that went viral, what did it mean in terms of like sales, or was it more brand awareness? What happened in terms of business?
It went crazy. Like it was crazy. And I know this sounds so insane to anyone listening to this now and praying for virality. I don't know how long I gave it. It kicked my nervous system up so much, so badly that I literally shut. I made our TikTok account private, I think. Yeah. Like after like a few hours. Because the other thing was, I was like, this product is not, I don't want to say tested enough. Like, I don't even know. We'll figure out how to pack the orders and stuff like that. But like, we don't have like a return process at scale. Like, can we even handle that? Of course we can. But you know what I'm saying? How? And is it responsible to? And I wanted to be responsible. I am an eldest daughter. Responsibility is my middle name. Like I felt like I was being irresponsible, letting all these orders come in. I was like, can we handle this? Can we do this? And then it was also just like so many comments of like people asking for, I'm getting my like wires crossed on which one this was. People asking for like black swim because we didn't have a black colorway. So it was like so much of that. And then people were like getting pissed that like we weren't responding to them. It was because TikTok was so different like 4 years ago, I get it. I was like shutting it down. It's done.
I feel you so much on this. And I think this is such an important conversation. I want to go the nervous system route. So I don't know if this was exactly last year. Yep. About a year ago, I had a reel on Instagram go viral. I have it pinned at 4.2 million right now. It went viral again in my trial reels, and that's another 4 million. Now, here's the thing. The video has nothing to do with even my personal brand. Yeah. So it's my daughter playing catch with the dolphin and like went wild. So much so that Sportsnet shared it. Other viral videos shared it. Like we started getting all these requests. Like Good Morning America shared it. So like I was in chats, like I'm texting with the TV producers, which I'm like, okay, I see a future in this, not specifically for this, but it wasn't connected to my brand. Mm-hmm. But here's what I said. I'm like, this is not going to lead to anything other than possibly brand awareness. Yeah. However, I'm using it as an exercise in nervous system capacity and expansion. Every single comment I responded to, and I was paying attention to how I was feeling physically because, negative comments, they were there. And then at one point I decided, I'm like, I have zero capacity for this negative bullshit. Delete, block. Like, you're not my people. Goodbye. Yep. Plus it's my daughter, like that was the other thing.
I was going to say, especially with kids, it's like a zero tolerance policy.
Zero.
I feel. Yeah.
Zero. Blocked, deleted. You're not my people. But then taking the time, and as I was responding to the comments, and they're all beautiful and fun and light, most of them, I could feel myself getting like antsy, like, how am I going to respond to all of these? Oh my God, this is a lot. But then I was like, oh my gosh, like celebrities, influencers, mind you, they obviously have teams responding if they're responding, but it's like, this is the influence that they get to experience on the normal. And I'm praying for impact. I'm praying for influence. Then this is a little taste of it. And so I used it as an exercise in that, which was phenomenal. But I think, we have this idea, this goal of like, we gotta go viral, but I don't think you necessarily need to go viral to have a successful business. Like, I don't think that's the formula, because it comes
For
with
sure.
everything else that I just described and you described.
Exactly. And I also just think like going viral now is so much harder. It really is. But yeah, it is like, it's one of those things where you're like, I don't know if I want this. You know what I'm
Right?
saying? Like, I
Yes.
don't, and I kind of was saying that at that time. Like, I think there's a better, more sustainable way to do this. And I don't think praying for this to happen again is it. I want the buying process to be a little more considered, and I want them to like binge our content. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want it to be like high reactivity impulse buys, you know?
Impulse buys. And then, like you said, the responsibility as founder and owner and everything that comes with the process, right? Like your
Yeah.
returns and, whatever might go wrong, you actually don't want to go wrong. The goal is longevity and sustainability.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are some other fun ways that, marketing campaigns or partnerships, like you've had fun growing this over the last few years that really moved the needle on the brand?
It was honestly so much just organic social. That's really been our tried and true. So it was organic social, and then we started paid meta ads like Facebook, Instagram, June 2023. So it'll be 3 years this June. So organic for what is that? Almost 2 years. Like we did a little bit of Google ads, a little bit of TikTok ads, but the budget was so minuscule. Like it wasn't really moving the needle. It was more like to protect brand keyword and stuff like that. But yeah, so then we did sort of kind of like poured gas on the fire with meta ads, June 2023, kept growing social, and then we aired on Shark Tank a year ago this month. So that was Jan 25.
Wow. Okay, wait, don't go there yet. I want the whole Shark Tank thing because that's a whole other beast. I love that. So, okay, back for a sec to TikTok. So with your testing, what else is working? It's so fascinating to hear like no founder face because you're stunning, right? You're like, I'm just showing the product and talking because oftentimes when you're just showing product, that's actually, I feel like when the algorithm doesn't even show it as much, but it's working for you guys.
Yeah, I really don't know. I will say like the first collection was really bright and it was really eye-catching. But we still would go viral even if it was just like a black suit on the countertop. I think what I boiled it down to is like, if someone is looking at a suit and hearing about what makes it different and it's not on a body, they're able to put themselves in the suit. If I'm wearing it or if I'm sitting here like with my mug, like holding it up, like talking about it, they're like, okay, that's not me, so I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't blame them. Because sometimes I look at people and I'm like, okay, well, like, that isn't, like, I don't look like that or whatever it is. Like, there's too much of a mental buffer to actually put yourself in the product, like makeup videos. I always love makeup videos where it's just the person's mouth or eye because I'm like, I don't know if I have their whole physicality. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I want to see the eyeshadow on the eye, like how does it look up close? And I think it's kind of that same concept. I think you can like really put yourself in the product when you see it.
I love that. I think that's a huge hack for anyone listening who has a product-based business that you can apply and someone can see themselves in it. I think obviously the movement towards, the variety in models and skin colors and ages and so forth has really supported that. And yet it's not that direct, like I can see myself in that body. Okay, this is brilliant. So Shark Tank, and I know there was a large piece of manifestation behind it. So I'd love for you to bring out your woo also. Like, was this on your vision board? Is this something you were manifesting? Did it come to you? Give us the woo behind the scenes and then also the tactile.
Yeah, so my grandpa was really the one that manifested it for me. So my grandpa always said, he's like, you should be on Shark Tank. You should be on Shark Tank. You should be on Shark Tank. And this was way before I ever had an idea.
Really?
Yeah. Like he would always say that to me. And it was so random. And I actually have a clip of him saying it before I thought of the one with idea. And I think I'm going to post it next week. It's so sentimental to me. I'm like, I don't know if I want this for consumption, but it's so good that it's like, I think he deserves it being seen. But yeah, so he passed away before One With launched, but I did have the idea when he was in the hospital and he wasn't awake, but I went into his hospital room and I was like, I thought of my Shark Tank idea.
Oh my God, I'm gonna fall.
It was
Wow.
the only way I can tell that story without crying is because I'm on camera. And I'm
Oh my God.
but
Girl, like, look at these goosebumps, like literally all over my body.
I know, I'm getting it too now. Oh my God, no, I can't cry. I can't cry. But no, he believed in me before I ever did, at least in that way. And so basically, I told him I thought of my Shark Tank idea. But however, once I launched One With, I was like, I don't, again, kind of like the TikTok thing, I don't want to be like up for consumption. I don't want to like go in the tank and like bare my soul, aka my business, and like be up for shark bait. Like I don't want that attention. And then I started to kind of change my tune once I watched this webinar of the Founders Club. It was a bunch of people who had done Dragon's Den and Shark Tank, like talking about their experience. And they really gave me a lot of hope in seeing that if you go in and you be yourself, which is the corniest advice, it is, but you have to go in and be yourself. And then you have a fighting chance,
Yes.
And so after that webinar, I applied to Shark Tank and I was like, whatever, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I got a call back from casting and that was it. So
oh my gosh, so it aired a year ago, so Jan 25. When did you submit your first pitch?
March 24.
Okay.
And I filmed September 24. Also, when I say that was it, when I tell you it was the hardest work of my life, I mean, maybe not the hardest work, but very hard work. But I mean, like in terms of, I did get that call back. So, but yeah, so they actually were lobbying to get me to, so they film twice a year. They were lobbying to get me to film in May. And I was like, no, I can't do that. I have a business to run and May is our biggest month. And so I was like, if September is an option, I'd really like September. And they're like, no, cool. September will be better anyways. You're all good. So
wow. Well, and that's huge too. When you kind of like make yourself less available, I think there's something in that also energetically.
100%. Like, it's so funny to hear me saying this. And again, to an entrepreneur who is praying to be on Shark Tank, chomping at the bit. That sounds so crazy. And don't get me wrong, I was so excited. Like, I had trouble sleeping. I was locked in once I was locked in, but you can't spite your business. And the thing that I love most isn't Shark Tank, it's One With. So that will always trump anything, right? Yes. So I will do nothing to spite One With. And that is ultimately what you have to be willing to do. But detachment is so key to getting your goals.
Yes, 100%. And detachment energetically is so powerful. Yeah. And so have you always been like this where, you set a goal, desire, you put it out into the universe, and then you detach, stay in faith? Or has this been a practice, a muscle you've built?
Yeah, it's a practice. No, I'm very anxiously attached in general. That's my attachment style. So I have to really work at it. But I will say, and I was having this conversation with someone the other day, once life gets really busy and your business is doing well or whatever it is, you have less time to like perseverate on things. Yeah. So it's like, Shark Tank happens, it's cool. If it doesn't, like it's fine also, cause it's like, I've got a million other irons in the fire. We're cooking, and things to do. And so it's like, I got a call back from Shark Tank. That was one thing that happened today, and it's like, there's other things going on. So I said this is the conversation again I was having with someone the other day, but like by virtue of just the momentum of being in business, you have to detach from, you end up detaching. And you can't fixate on outcomes too much. So it's a practice, but One With is my greatest teacher, and it has really helped me learn detachment for sure.
So beautiful. Now, I know the end outcome, but I don't want to go there yet. And I know who the guest shark was on actual September filming. So now I'm kind of thinking out loud. I wonder who was the guest shark in May. And I almost feel you were meant to be in September. Now
Ooh,
that
I
I'm
just got chills you
right.
saying that. You know, that's so funny because now I want to go back in season 16 and see who the other guest sharks were. Like, I have a good idea, but I'm like, who else? But the second they told me it was Jamie, sorry, I'm spoiling it. I don't know if you wanted to say that.
But like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
Jamie Kern Lima is who you want to be the guest shark.
No, I was
Right.
like, you're kidding. Like, I'm like, no friggin' way. Like, the universe is conspiring for me.
Millions. Look at these goosebumps again. Like, I am gonna have to show these when we air this episode because this is insane. Like all over my body again.
Yeah. No, it was amazing. Like, it was perfect.
So, okay, one is we have to check back who was the guest shark for May filming. We got to check that.
We do.
So you film, okay, tell us like the process. So you've prepared, you are in the green room. Tell us the emotion, tell us everything and what happens when you step on stage.
So nervous, not detached at all.
Completely attached.
Completely attached. However, though, what I said was like, this will happen exactly as it's meant to happen. I also did so much work on myself to prep, like, because again, I would say to myself, like, I'm not the type of person that should be on this show. I'm going to go in there. They're going to say a little blonde girl hawking swimsuits and I'm going to be shark bait. Like that is what I told myself because to give myself credit for that thought, that had happened to me. Not once, not twice, several times. So it's like, I'm just going off of data here. Yeah. The odds of this going well are not great, you know? And so I was like, I really, 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 really had to rewrite that narrative in my head. So that's what I did. And not to say people hadn't believed in me before. Like I had to pitch for getting into that accelerator program that gave me the $15,000. They believed in me, you know? Yeah. So it's not to say that I hadn't had good experiences, but I will say I definitely had more negative ones than positive, which was really weighing on me heavily. So I had to do a lot of work to rewrite that. And yeah, so I'm sitting in the green room and I'm just like, you know, my new narrative is I'm exactly the type of person that should be here. Everything I've done in my life has prepared me to be here. I'm doing my tapping. I've got my frequencies. The walls in those trailers are paper thin and I'm hearing everything everyone's saying and I'm putting my headphones in and I'm trying to drown them out. And I'm just like, yeah, exactly. Like I'm literally like, I don't want to hear conversations. Don't talk to me, please. I'm not trying to be rude, but like I have to be in the zone right now.
Yes, your zone, your connection.
I was deep breathing. Yeah. So it was a whole thing. But you know, I figured it out.
Figured it out. So you step on stage, the sharks are there, you're on it, you're in it, and
yeah, so I'm freaking out up until the very last minute. So like when those doors open, like so they're counting you in. It's as bad as you think it is in terms of how anxiety. I always say it's exactly what you think it is in terms of the level of stress and nerves. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so they're like counting you in and I'm not kidding. Like I was like doubled over until those doors opened. Like, and I was just like, I'm here. Then I'm going to do this. And that. And
show's on.
I just did it. And then, so what I told myself was like, just get through the pitch. If you can get through the pitch without stammering or messing up, you can do on the fly, Hayley. Like that's something you can do. That is something I possess, but I do tend to stumble on my words and stuff like that. So I was like, just get through the pitch because if you can do that, you've got the rest. And so that's like what I told myself. And so I just focused on the minute and 30 seconds of the pitch.
So you had memorized it. Like obviously you had prepared it, memorized it. How long did you practice it for?
A pretty long time, not to the point where, and I think whose podcast was I on where we were talking about, was it Lori? I think it might've been Lori's, her TED.
No, her TED Talk. No. Yes. It was
her TED Talk? Yes. Okay, yeah. Yep. Where it's actually really bad to practice too much. And I agree with that because when you commit something too hard and for too long, you start actually second guessing myself. Like, is a second skin swim or the smoothest? Like, you start being like, do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, that has happened to me before. So I was super wary of that. So I did listen to myself ad nauseum. Like, I recorded a pitch take that I liked and I just listened to it and I would say it in the mirror. So I did do it a million times, but I only really, 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 really got super into it like 2 weeks or so ahead of time.
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
I think this, so Canadian listeners, we have Dragon's Den. We've had
Yes.
several founders who've been on Dragon's Den and then Shark Tank in the States. I mean, yes, these are huge goals that founders have. And, you know, whether it's for exposure or the actual deal or just the, you know, the experience of being on it, I mean, hands down, probably one of the best experiences as a founder you can experience.
It was the best experience, like, of my life. Like, it just,
wow.
Not just being on set. I don't mean like that day was the best day of my life. I mean like start to finish, rewriting narratives, showing myself that persistence pays off, telling yourself a new story pays off. Like that start to finish was the best experience of my life.
Wow. Yeah, like what a personal growth journey, right? Those doubts, fears, all of it will come through. And it's like the identity you're stepping into, like there's no chance you're the same girl walking off that stage than you were preparing.
Great way to say it. I'm not the same person from before. It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So you do the pitch. Okay. You get through the minute, 30 seconds. Questions start rolling in. Like, who's interested? Who's like, was it tough? Like, did you get grilled or did you feel like you didn't?
I literally walked off the stage and I was like, I can do more questions. I could do more questions. Like, are they sure they're good? I got more, you know, like I prepared for every worst case scenario, but luck favors the prepared. Be prepared. But no, they were so nice to me. It's not like they didn't ask me any tough questions. They did. I just had answers prepared that were truthful and authentic. And, what's the word? Like they liked them, the answers, they liked them. So they didn't really push back on anything in a really you know, because sometimes they'll latch onto someone's character and then it all goes downhill, and they did not do that, which, you know, again, I really made it an effort to show up as me, you know, as me, and not try to like put on anything that wasn't me.
So who gave offers?
It was Barbara and Jamie. It happened so organically. Like, it was just like Barbara was in, and then Jamie was like, whoa, wait, before you say yes to Barbara, I also want in. And then...
Are you like dying? Like, this is Jamie and Lima and like Barbara.
It's so crazy, even just thinking about it now. And it's so funny. I was watching the show the other day, and I said to my fiance, I was like, I'm watching this, but it's almost like I never did this. Like it is so, I can't describe it. It's so out of body.
Yeah.
You know, that it's like, I might as well have never walked on that set. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like watching it, it's so surreal. Watching it in front of me was like watching a dream. Wow. It was crazy. So crazy.
And like, are you shocked? Are you surprised? Or are you just keeping your, I need to watch it. Like, I'm just like.
Because I don't, like, literally thought I was going to pass out. You see me writing myself. Like, I'm hypoglycemic and I hadn't really eaten that day because I was so nervous. So I'm physically thinking I'm about to pass out, like, as I'm walking out.
I'm gonna link the episode on, I'll talk to your team to send me the link you want me to direct it to, but we're going to link it in the show notes. I feel like everyone needs to watch it.
Yeah, it's the walkout. And then afterwards, I'm like, how is not everyone else doing this too? Like, how did people keep it cool? I couldn't keep it cool, you know? Like, I did not play it cool. And yeah, it was so crazy. And then afterwards, thank God I had models with me that like I brought in, because I had them voice memo me after everything that happened, because I like blacked out basically. Like, I don't really remember
anything.
No. So they sent me voice memos and texts of like, that's when you said this. And this is when they said that. And, you know, whatever. Like, I'm like, thank you guys.
So good. So what was your response? Like, when you got the offers? Not one, but two.
I mean, I had to take a beat. Well, one thing that I just say, I couldn't hear them that well. Like, it's really hard to hear them. So you actually see me pause because I'm trying to understand what's happening. Make sure, because like, could you imagine I say yes to an offer, like I didn't actually get an offer, like I heard it wrong.
Didn't hear.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, wait, I need to make sure I heard that right. But I was really processing it and like really like I took a minute also to make sure I heard it correctly, but also being like, holy shit, that actually just happened. Yes. And I had a cap. My cap was 20%. It was my cap. So like all systems were go. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So, kind of the behind the scenes, I just had Alexa of Hoo Ha, Canadian brand. She just received the largest deal in Dragon's Den history, $20 million from Arlene Dickinson's firm.
Holy
Largest
shit.
deal ever. But she said, it took 2 years to actually for the deal to go through because she said she wasn't ready as a company for that scale. So that episode just released such a good conversation. So what happened for you behind the scenes with the offers?
That's crazy. I started listening to the beginning of that episode. I need to listen to the full story because that's actually wild. Yeah, so you have to go through diligence on the back end. Obviously, not every deal closes. Mine did. Exactly how it was on air. Both sharks have 10%.
Wow. Oh my gosh. And like, what's access for you now? Like, what does that mean for you as founder and having these two incredible investors in your company?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, especially as a solo founder, I feel like that, I mean, I can only speak as a solo founder, but I do feel like that is where there is the most opportunity for material change in terms of if there was something going down before, and when I say going down, I can mean anything, a decision that needed to be made, something more philosophical that needed to be explored. Like that conversation was happening between me, myself, and I. I had nowhere to turn. I had no co-founder. I had no one even with equity in the company. It was just an echo chamber of myself. Having now, like there's something on my list today that I need to email them about that I want their take on. Having that as a resource.
Yes.
As a lever to pull as a founder, solo female founder is so huge. It's so
priceless.
Huge. Yeah.
So you have access. Like, are you able to email Jamie? Are you working with her team? Like what?
All the sharks have teams. Yeah. All the sharks have teams.
Yeah, but you have access. Oh,
yes.
so priceless. And I was saying this the other day too. I was like, in my first company that I had, a product-based company that I had an exit with, I had a co-founder. So it's completely different than me launching this brand because it's literally me, myself, and I. And so there's, more procrastination. There's more like it's a different pace being a solo founder versus having that, whatever it is, accountability or partnership. And it's completely different. And so I'm like, this is why I joined the Founders Club for the year. I'm like, okay, I need just some people that are like, indirectly on me. Like I have to show up with these timelines that I'm not responsible to. I was also before because I want this thing launched, but it's a different energy.
It is a different energy for sure.
So we're going to jump into rapid fire really soon, but is there anything that I missed that you'd love to share from a founder perspective and growing this brand that, is really disrupting a category, and then just something that you're working towards that you're excited to share?
Well, one thing I always want to make sure I mention is how our product is different because I feel like I get into the tactics of everything and I'm like, oh, wait, do people even know why our swimwear is so cool and so unique?
Tell us.
So we took the concept of what makes no-show undies so flattering and made that swimmable. So our swim is raw cut, dig free, elastic free, and edgeless. It's bonded together, not sewn with tight, bulky seams that squeeze. And then to keep things secure, we have a soft, flexible inner grip strip inside. Again, to keep things secure without the use of tight seams or elastic. So we're patented. There's nothing like it on the market. So I want to make sure I say that because I love doing podcasts, but it's like obviously all about the product at the end of the day. Yes. So I want to make sure that's my product, onewith.
And we all need to get some oneware because like literally you're disrupting the swim category with this product. Actually, what I didn't ask you before, so we moved from technical designer to launch, but actually how was the process of finding your manufacturer at that point? Like, did it take a few tries once you had the prototype?
Yes, it did. We sent the tech pack out to a bunch of different manufacturers. And basically like they would read the tech pack, and sometimes they'd send just like normal swim samples, and it's like, you didn't get it. We're looking for people that have like a keenness to what the differentiator is here.
Yes.
So if they submitted something that, followed our tech pack, we're like, okay, let's continue talking to them. And I think a lot of people are like, how do I find suppliers? If you hire a technical designer, or soft goods designer, whatever your vertical is, they will have preferred factories most of the time. B, like, Alibaba, AliExpress were like they weren't talked about a ton back then. Now they are. That's like how people find their suppliers. Also like Google, also putting on LinkedIn, like, I am the founder of a swimwear startup. You get so much like reach out from factories. So if you're wondering where to start, there's like a million. Sourcify, I think, is another one too. There's so many good ones. But yeah, so that is kind of how.
Amazing. How many did you have to go through till you're like, okay, this is my partner?
I don't remember, but the factory that produced our first collection isn't our main factory now. They actually didn't do. I did not love that run. I mean, like, it was really important for a minimum viable product, but we probably went through like a dozen, I would say, maybe.
Wow. See, and this is the thing, like, it's a process, and like, don't give up after the first try, and like, eventually you will find the right partners. And I feel also too, like, especially for female founders, like, ask the questions, and ask for help, ask for support, ask for introductions. And obviously it takes time to find your partner. You might not you may get a referral, or you might find it through Alibaba, but ask the right questions. Tune into these podcasts. There's some great advice and wisdom here. And obviously get yourself a one with. Like this, everyone listening, like, I'm getting one too. I'm in Mexico.
Amen.
Did I tell you this? I spend the winter in Mexico. So I'm like, I need to stock up.
Oh my God, wait, that's amazing. Good for you. Oh my God, Canada to Mexico is such a jump.
It is. I'm like,
wow.
we do summers in Kelowna, which is like the dream, moving into fall, and then winters. I'm like, I just, we did the whole ski thing, tried it, had the kids skiing, but I'm like, I just need my summer. I need to be out living life every single day barefoot.
I love that for you. Love that for you.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to rapid fire, and then you'll tell us where we can find you. So if you had to rebuild onewith from scratch today, knowing what you know as of right now, what's the first thing you would do?
Don't focus on making it pretty. Talk about what makes it unique.
I love that. Lead with that. Lead with your unique value proposition. One thing you no longer tolerate energetically.
Wasting time, doom scrolling, people taking too much of my time unabashedly and letting it happen. Because you're complicit in that if you let it happen. So I'm over letting it happen.
So good. A founder you'd love to have brunch with?
Sophia Amoruso.
What are you manifesting right now?
Oh, there's so much. There's like a lot of personal stuff, manifesting really aligned collaborations for 2026. And yeah.
So good. So good. I was going to ask you, do you play pickleball? But you already answered that.
No, I want to though. I guess like my disconnect is I am really bad at tennis and I'm really bad at ping pong. So I feel like that's not good for me.
Out of all of those, pickleball is the easiest. So I'm like,
really?
Yes, 100%. I've never played tennis in my life. I was sharing this with, who was I telling this to? But my dad, so I'm Polish. He'd take us to the Polish community center.
Wait, me too.
What?
My dad or my mom, so it's my mom's side that's Polish. My mom is not from Poland, like directly. So if your dad is like first gen, or, you know what I mean? Or if you're first gen, like that's not me, but my lineage is Polish.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so
continue. That's
amazing. That's so cool. Another synchronicity. So I don't know, maybe I'm 12 years old and my dad's taking me to the Polish community center in this small city called London, Ontario in Canada. And he's making me play ping pong. And now I was like, Dad, why am I doing this? And now I get to transfer those skills to my pickleball career as a 41-year-old.
So if you had to tell me, where should I play it for the first time? Because now I'm sure you know, like they're opening up everywhere. There's a like I blink and there's a new pickleball center.
Yes, everywhere. So this is okay. This has kind of been my trajectory, and I'm like on a mission to like have a duper and be ranked and all those things. But starting out, so my husband's been playing for 2 years, and I was never like, I'm like, hey, this is his thing. He found a hobby. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
I tried dancing on the beach. I tried sound healing. I got, I was trying everything, yoga, etc. And all of a sudden one day I'm like, I'm going to go try playing. And within one day, I'm like, I am obsessed. I want to better my skills. Yes. Like I just felt it. I'm like, this is going to be my thing. So in September, I started off open play. So open play is usually where all levels show up and just play.
Okay.
So I would start casually, start open play, just get a groove for it, learn some of the rules and just have fun. And then you can start going into community. So then I started with the ladies that were like in their 60s, 70s,
Okay.
they're kind of 3 to 3.5 ranking. I started playing with them religiously every morning. And then in November, I graduated to the afternoons, which is like your players that are 375 to like 45, but everyone's like pretty hardcore. So I'm in that league right now.
That's so fun. I need to I've never been big into like team sports and stuff like that, but so many people love it and speak so highly about like how it kind of like gave them a joie de vivre that I'm just kind of like, I feel like I owe it to myself to try it.
So I think this is it. And now that I'm just so inspired to start this company, so it is a female founded pickleball brand. And the whole intention is community and experiences. So I want to bring women together. One niche of it is going to be bringing female founders together who want to try pickleball and doing these pickle and pitch events.
So
Pickle and pitch. Actually, that's Angie Lee. I saw her in San Diego. She's like, you need to call it pickle and pitch. I'm like, hey girl, if that's okay with you, I'm taking the name. I'm like, we're doing it.
That's cute.
Right? So for founders, pickle and pitch, come out, play some pickleball, whether you're playing or just starting out, and network, right? Like come in with intentional asks how we can support you in moving the needle forward. So that's one part of the company. And then products. But products, I was talking to another founder. I'm like, I don't want to just put shit out into the world.
Yeah.
We have enough stuff. We have enough information. So it's like intentionality, disrupting, like what you're doing, being innovative, creative. That is the intention. And I think a big piece of advice that I'm taking from you for myself is like, just don't rush the process. If this is meant to come through me, it will. And as much as I'm saying it's launching in 26, even if it doesn't, it's okay.
It totally is okay. And it will happen as it's meant to happen. Like I'll leave you with this. I wrote in my journal, I wanted to launch onewith March 2020. Think about that.
Wow.
That would have been horrendous.
Wow.
Like, so
look at those goosebumps again. Like,
yeah,
you were not meant to launch, obviously.
No.
Like that was literally the month everything went to shit.
Literally. So yes, you're, writing down goals is so important, but things will happen as they're meant to if you're an active participant in your goal, which I'm sure you are.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Where can we find you? Where can we find the product and purchase the product?
Yeah, so I don't have like a public Instagram or anything like that. So it would just be onewith swim. Follow onewith swim on Instagram, TikTok, and onewithswim.com.
I love that. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here. And I can't wait to see what's next for you.
Thanks so much, Anna. You too.
Thanks for joining me on today's episode of the Prosperity Playground podcast. If this conversation sparked something in you, be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts so you never miss your weekly activation. If you enjoyed the conversation, please rate and review. Your feedback helps us reach more souls just like you who are ready to calibrate to their most prosperous life. Know someone who needs this frequency boost? Share the episode to Instagram and tag me at _Anna Lozano so we can grow our energetically aligned community together. And please remember, true prosperity is about alignment, freedom, expansion, and embodying your worth. Start today. I'm Anna Lozano, and this is the Prosperity Playground. See you on the next activation.